UN scientists say the negative impact of climate change may be irreversible unless we take swift action. The scientists on a United Nations climate panel are out with a new warning about climate change, and they're telling us what they think needs to be done before, as they see it, it's too late.
That's a clip the Media Research Center put together from coverage by Network News on climate change. It's just one of the topics they say have an anti-business slant when covered by the mainstream media. To tell us about some of the other hot-button topics that have gotten a biased view for the networks, we've got the Assistant Managing Editor for Media Research Business, Julia Seymour, joining us by Skype. Hi, Julia. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you.
Well, really glad to have you on. I've got to ask you this first question, which has always been on the top of my head when it comes to the media going after big business and trying to take down big business. Julia, between you and me, don't tell anybody. Isn't the media big business? I don't get it.
They certainly are, and that's just one of the many reasons that it makes them hypocritical for being constantly anti-business activists on a host of issues.
Who's the biggest offender in the mainstream media in your view when it comes to being biased?
Oh, goodness. That's really hard to say because I find that different programs, different outlets do cover different topics very differently from one another.
Right.
So on the networks, CBS's Scott Pelley is certainly one of the people promoting a climate alarmist agenda, but CBS might do a better job than NBC or ABC on some other issue.
Very interesting. Besides climate change, though, in the article you wrote for MRC, you say the media helps socialism, too, by refusing to use the term. How does that help socialism?
By not reminding people of what the ideology of socialism meant in history, by not reminding people of bread lines and gulags, they're hiding and spinning the matter of socialism, particularly when it comes to presidential candidate Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, what's interesting is you've got stark examples in history, as you just said, and to ignore them and to not call them socialism or to not call Sanders socialism, you're right, that completely misses the point of what a journalist is supposed to do, right?
Absolutely. Journalists are supposed to be objective. They're supposed to cover things neutrally. That has been the ideal of what journalism is all about. But they've definitely become activists on so many issues, and it's really disturbing to see.
And how does this all tie right into Hollywood?
Hollywood also has many different agendas that it pushes for, and one of those is going back to the hypocrisy you pointed out earlier. Hollywood is a huge industry. They make so much money, and I don't begrudge them any of that.
Yeah, I don't either, right.
The way that they like to do that is often by attacking capitalism and capitalists, whether it's through documentaries or through fictional television programs.
And they fly to and fro when they're promoting those documentaries in their Lear jets, and they're making $15 million a film, and they're, you've got Hollywood spending how many billions of dollars in electricity, but that's okay for them. The rest of us should all ride a bike everywhere. So it's very interesting. Why do you think the liberal agenda in the media and Hollywood, and now the Democrats or the progressives, if you will, in Hollywood, in Washington, why are they so married together? When did that happen? Do we even know?
I'm not sure. I think the majority of national level media have been liberal throughout all of my lifetime. There are exceptions, certainly.
Right.
But it's been very liberal throughout all of my life and probably much before that. But it does seem to be growing worse. There seems to be we certainly try to hold them accountable to that. And I think that the public may be more aware than they were in the past, but it doesn't seem to be changing their tune.
Well, what's interesting, and we've got very little time here, but I mean, you make a great point. Bernie Sanders and the very liberal, very left-wing agenda, the very socialist agenda, is all promising to give us a bunch of free stuff. And if you offer free stuff to people in 2015, 2016 America, they're going to stand up and listen. It's unfortunate they won't listen to, the Constitution and our rights and things like that. Very quickly, just to close it out.
Yes, there were so many other issues we saw this year. We saw the media activist on the issue of minimum wage increases and the fight for 15 workers. We saw them calling for higher gas taxes because gas prices were low. So many things that they really promote a liberal perspective on.
I think we're going to talk again. Julia, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate her knowledge. And if you want to weigh in, we've got several ways to do so. Send your comments in to me at newsmaxtv.com/comments. And you can also send your comments via email, Facebook, and Twitter. Still to come, our religious freedoms under attack. 2 Christian bakers are forced to pay up big time after following their beliefs. My reaction to that situation up next. And if you suffer cardiac arrest outside of a hospital, you have just a 7% chance of survival. It's true, and it's scary. In fact, heart disease kills more people than any other condition in the United States. No one is more aware of this than world-renowned cardiologist Dr. Chauncey Crandall. He's the author of the #1 best-selling book, The Simple Heart Cure. Now you can learn your heart risk and make sure you're not part of the 93% that won't survive a heart attack. You can take Dr. Crandall's free Simple Heart Test right now to see your heart risk. Go online, simplehearttest.com. Simplehearttest.com. Much more to come on Newsmax Prime. You stay right here.